energy from fusion. Is it possible? Fusion is the energy source for the sun. When deuterium and tritium react because of fusion, they release energy which is captured by the fusion reactor.
The tokamak, the Russian acronym for toroidal chamber magnetic coils. In a tokamak, a gaseous mixture of deuterium and tritium, two varieties of hydrogen, is confined by strong magnetic fields and brought to a temperature of 200 million degrees, more than 10 times the temperature in the core of the Sun. Under these conditions, deuterium and tritium nuclei fuse and liberate considerable amounts of energy. This process is comparable to the one that powers the Sun and the stars.
Fusion, from a safety standpoint, it poses no risk of a runaway nuclear reaction as compared to what happened in Russia. It is so difficult to get the fusion reaction going in the first place that it can quickly be stopped by eliminating the injection of fuel. So the effects on the environment are limited. The only issue that I see with the environment is that when it's being built, it takes about 48 acres of land, which is a small price to pay for powering an entire city or a country for millions of years, since the supply of deuterium and tritium comes from the ocean, and the ocean has trillions of metric tons. Also, when it comes to the environment, the fusion is probably even a better idea, because you look at countries like China, India, who are redirecting their waterways to make more dams, to make more power. You won't have to do that anymore, and they're spending millions of dollars, actually billions, when all you have to do is spend it on one fusion reactor, which is about $13 billion, compared to the massive amounts that they spend redirecting waterways and affecting the environment. Fusion's effect on our culture will be big. We don't have to rely on coal and natural gases to power our cities anymore. Fusion is much more clean burning than compared to coal and natural gases. You won't have to worry about radioactive runoff. The real thing that I think about is the first company to harness the fusion energy, because they could charge crazy prices just because I believe our economy will be affected the most. Positively, we will get cheaper energy, power houses, power stores, so we won't have to pay that much money in electricity. Negatively, it'll put a lot of people out of jobs, coal miners, people who try to find natural gas. Indirectly, a positive effect from fusion that will affect the human race is that less money will have to go to harnessing natural gas and mining for coal, and more money can go to electric cars and more ways to be energy efficient, such as solar panel, windmills, because with all this energy from fusion, we won't need such electricity, and with a fusion reactor, we can power an entire city, so we can look at other alternative fuels, such as even biofuels, so we won't even need to mine for oil anymore, even though we are running out. Another aspect of fusion energy is that the cost of production does not suffer from diseconomies of scale. The cost of water and wind energy, for example, goes up as the optimal locations are developed first, while further generators must be sited in less ideal conditions. With fusion energy, the production cost will not increase much, even if the large number of plants are built. Despite being technically non-renewable, fusion power has many of the benefits of renewable energy sources, such as being a long-term energy supply and emanating no greenhouse gases, as well as some of the benefits of the resource-limited energy source as hydrocarbons of nuclear fission. Without reprocessing, like these currently dominant energy sources, fusion can provide very high power generation density and uninterrupted power delivery due to the fact that it is not dependent on weather, unlike the wind and solar power. Overall, in this video, I have discussed how fusion came to the idea from the sun. And fusion only involves two ingredients called deuterium and tritium, which are very abundant in the sea, which is why fusion is such a reliable source, and we never will run out of deuterium and tritium. Fusion will have no effect on the environment because it does not emit any greenhouse gases. The tokamak is part of a program known as ITER, which is being built in France and expected to be done in 2018.